Total governor is the modification of bad governor. Here the central load is kept on this sleeve so that the fly balls comes at the predetermined level quickly. Here, for doing the analysis, consider the forces acting on one half of the governor as shown in figure. So this indicates the pre-body diagram of this configuration diagram. So as per our earlier discussion, in case of bad governor, the various notations we have used, such as let M indicate the mass of this fly ball. So W is nothing but the weight of that fly ball. Fc indicate the centrifugal force acting on this ball. T1 is nothing but the tension in arm. T2 is nothing but the tension in the link. Capital W indicate the weight of the central load. Alpha is nothing but the angle made by this arm with the vertical axis, that is spindle axis. Then beta is nothing but angle made by this link with the vertical axis. N indicate the speed in RPM. So there are the different methods to get the relation between height of the governor and the speed of the governor. But as far as concerned with our syllabus, we'll focus on the two methods. First one, method of resolution, and second one, instantaneous center method. So in this case, just consider the equilibrium of the forces acting at point D we have. So if I consider the force acting on this D in downward direction, that is W by 2, and in upward direction is nothing but the component of this T2 in vertical direction, that is T2 cos of beta. So we can simply write here T2 cos of beta equals to W divided by 2. W can be replaced by this term mg by 2, or you can simply get the relation for this T2 like this: T2 equals to mg by 2 cos of beta. Now again consider the equilibrium of the point B. This point B will remain in equilibrium under the action of four forces. First one, the weight of the ball acts in downward direction. The centrifugal force Fc acts in outward direction. Then the tension in the arm T1 and T2 in the link. Okay. Then resolving the forces vertically and equate the same. So in this case, it is very important to resolve the this one, tension T1 as well as T2 along the horizontal direction as well as in vertical direction, like this one. So vertical component of this one, T1 is nothing but T1 cos of alpha, and here T1 sine of alpha. Similarly, the component of this one comes along the horizontal direction as T2 sine of beta, and the component along the vertical direction of the same T2 here cos of beta. Now focus only on the vertical forces. T1 cos of alpha. So T1 cos of alpha in the vertical direction, that's why the plus sign given for this one. So equal to both, actually this one, these forces are in downward direction, that's why written towards the right side of the equation. So T1 cos of alpha equals to T2 cos of beta. So component of this one, T2 in the vertical downward direction, is nothing but the T2 cos of beta plus this one, weight of the ball in downward direction, that is small w. Now, so what's about this one, T2? T2, already we get the value for that T2. T2 is nothing but the mg by 2 into cos of beta. So replace this one T2 by this term. Okay. So T2 cos of beta is nothing but the mg by 2 here, and this W is nothing but mg. Now resolving the forces in horizontal direction by considering this B as center point. Now focus only on the horizontal forces. The two components with us here. The first one T1 sine of alpha, and the component of this one in horizontal direction is T2 sine of beta. So you can get the equation like this one: T1 sine of alpha plus T2 sine of beta equals to Fc. Now further modification in the equation, you can get this relation. So replace this one T2 by this term, and we can get the modification in the equation like this one: T1 sine of alpha plus mg, this one sine of beta divided by cos of beta is nothing but the tan of alpha equals to Fc. Now you can get this next relation: T1 sine of alpha equals to Fc. Fc will remain as it is. Take this terms towards the right side, so you can get this relation. So equation number 3 for this one. Now dividing equation number 3 by equation number 2. So T1 sine of alpha equals to this term will come here, and next one T1 cos of alpha is nothing but whatever the term towards the right side, just simply write here. So T1 get cancelled. Sine of alpha divided by cos of alpha is nothing but the tan of alpha. Take this term here, okay? This term will remain as it is here. Now take this tan of alpha towards the right side, so it goes in denominator, here also in denominator, okay? Now substituting tan of beta by tan of alpha equals to Q, and tan of alpha equals to R divided by H. So what's about this R divided by H? If you look towards here, R is nothing but the radius of rotation and H is here. So on focusing this geometry, we can get tan of alpha is nothing but R divided by H. So we have just substitute the value of tan of alpha here, Fc here, and for this one replace by Q. Okay, so mg by 2 plus mg equals to, just replace this Fc by m r omega square multiplied by this H divided by R will come for this one tan of alpha. So minus this term will remain as it is, and for this one Q will come here. Now in the next part, you can get the relation for this m omega square H here, R get cancelled. Take this term towards the another side. So after simplification, so what we get here, you can get the relation for the H. So keep this H here, take this term towards the right side. Okay, so H is nothing but small m plus capital M by 2 into 1 plus Q divided by M multiplied by G divided by omega square term will occurs. So what's about the omega square? Omega square, simply take this omega square here and H here. Now after putting the value of omega equals to 2 pi divided by 60, we can get the relation for this n square like this one: m small m plus capital M. This term will remain as it is, this one as it is. Okay, by substituting the value of omega equals to 2 pi divided by 60 and this g equals to 9.81, we can get this relation for n square. So in this case, when P and D, so here is the P and here is the D, when this P and D on the vertical axis, on the same axis, then the value of this alpha and beta becomes equal. So when the value of alpha and beta becomes equal, so what we get here, tan of beta by tan of alpha is nothing but tan of beta by tan of alpha equals to, what we get here, simply Q equals to, we can get the 1. So if I substitute the value of Q equals to 1 into this equation, then what we get, n square equals to small m by 2 into 1 plus 1, means here 2 get cancelled, capital M by small m multiplied by 895 divided by H. Now when the frictional force is considered, then equation number 5 and equation number 6 is changes like this one. So in place of this one central load, that is the W by 2. When we consider the entire load, then we need to consider the frictional value in addition with that central load. So this equation can be modified like this one: n square equals to mg plus m capital Mg plus minus f by 2 into 1 plus q divided by mg multiplied by 895 divided by h. Now if we focus on equation number 6, only change occurs here. Okay, so you have to just add plus minus this one. You have to add the value of this one force here. That is the frictional force. The direction of the frictional force or the value of the frictional force F is need to be considered positive or negative, depends upon the motion of the sleeve. If the sleeve moves in vertical upward direction, then the frictional force will act in downward direction, and you need to consider the plus sign for that. Whenever the reverse case happens, then you need to consider the negative sign for the same. Now, when we compare this relation with the Watt governor, so height of the governor will be changes in the ratio of small m plus capital M by n.